What's up, everybody? Welcome to Adventures with the Hendy, Orlando, Florida. Well, let's head up to Orlando for the day. We're in Fort Lauderdale, so we might as well. Let's head up to Orlando for the day, hoping to see an old friend of mine, and then we will show you around Orlando. We're not gonna be able to get into anything. Maybe we'll be able to get into a couple of things, but I really don't know. So let's go and find out. Are y'all ready? Here we go. And with that, Adventures with the Hendy, Orlando, Florida has officially begun. Let's roll. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Adventures with the Hendy, Orlando, Florida. It is currently 6 a.m. and we're about to leave the condo in Fort Lauderdale, head up to Orlando, and mess around for the day. Mind you, we are going to show you the theme parks. However, we're not going to go in them because I don't have tickets. I don't have that kind of money. Okay? I'm sorry, but we will be doing an Orlando, Florida Revisited episode maybe sometime next year. Or maybe even this year. I don't know yet. It all depends on what the rest of this year brings. I'm in the car waiting for the car to warm up. Then we're going to make our way up to Orlando. First stop in Orlando is Discovery Cove. But first stop overall is Starbucks. Let's go. Must have passed it. Did I totally go past the Starbucks? I think I did. You guys know how it is. Everybody needs coffee or something to run. Well, for me, I don't drink coffee, it's tea, but I was drinking hot chocolate. That's the reason I stopped at Starbucks. But that's besides the point. Now that I got that out of the way, and now that you saw me go right past Starbucks and epically failed, I can finally say, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Adventures with the Hendy, Orlando, Florida. Here we are just leaving Fort Lauderdale. As you saw in the last episode of Adventures with the Hendy, which went live last Saturday. If you haven't seen that, click the link in the upper right hand corner of the screen. It will take you there. Here we are traveling to Orlando from Fort Lauderdale. Orlando is a city in the state of Florida and is the county seat of Orange County. Located in Central Florida, it is the center of the Orlando metropolitan area, which had a population of 2,387,138, according to the U.S. Census Bureau figures released in March of 2016, making it the 24th largest metropolitan area in the United States, the 6th largest metropolitan area in the southern United States, and the 3rd largest metropolitan area in the state of Florida. As of 2015, Orlando had an estimated city proper population of 270,934. Making it the 73rd largest city in the United States, the 4th largest city in Florida, and the state's largest inland city. The city of Orlando is nicknamed the City Beautiful. Its symbol is the fountain at Lake Eola. Orlando is also known as the theme park capital of the world. Anybody who has ever been to Orlando that is watching this episode of Adventures with the Hendy will know that statement is exactly true. Every theme park you can possibly imagine is all in Orlando, pretty much all in the same area, for the most part. And it's very interesting, to say the least. In 2014, the tourist attractions and events drew more than 62 million visitors. Orlando International Airport, code MCO, is the 13th busiest airport in the United States and the 29th busiest in the world. The current mayor of Orlando is Buddy Dyer. As one of the world's most visited tourist destinations, Orlando's famous attractions form the backbone of its tourism industry. Walt Disney World, located approximately 21 miles southwest of downtown Orlando in Bay Lake, opened by the Walt Disney Company in 1971. Universal Orlando Resort opened in 1999 as a major expansion of Universal Studios Florida. SeaWorld, Gatorland, and Wet n Wild. With the exception of Walt Disney World, most major attractions are located along International Drive. The city is also one of the busiest American cities for conferences and conventions. The Orange County Convention Center is the second largest convention facility in the United States. Like other major cities in the Sun Belt, Orlando grew rapidly during the 1980s and into the first decade of the 21st century, mostly due to the success of Walt Disney World, which was opened on October 1st of 1971. Orlando is home to the University of Central Florida, which is the largest university campus in the United States in terms of enrollment as of 2015. In 2010, Orlando was listed as a Gamma level of World City in the World Cities Study Group inventory. Orlando ranks as the fourth most popular American city based on where people want to live, according to a 2009 Pew Research Center study. Prior to being known by its current name, Orlando was known as Jernigan. This originates from the first permanent settler, Aaron Jernigan, a cattleman who acquired land along Lake Holden by the terms of the Armed Occupation Act of 1842. Although there are at least three major stories as to how Orlando got its name, it is known for certain that the city of Jernigan was renamed Orlando in 1857. Before European settlers arrived in 1536, Orlando was sparsely populated by the Seminole tribe. There are very few archaeological sites in the area today, except for the ruins of Fort Gatlin along the shores of modern-day Lake Gatlin, south of downtown Orlando. After Mosquito County was divided in 1845, Orlando became the county seat of the new Orange County in 1856. It remained a rural backwater during the Civil War and suffered greatly during the Union blockade. The Reconstruction era brought on a population explosion, resulting in Orlando's incorporation as a town on July 31st, 1875, and as a city in 1885. The period from 1875 to 1895 is remembered as Orlando's golden era, when it became the hub of Florida's citrus industry. But the Great Freeze of 1894 to 95 forced many owners to give up their independent groves, thus consolidating holdings in the hands of a few citrus barons, who shifted operations south, primarily around Lake Wales and Polk County. Orlando, as Florida's largest inland city, became a popular resort during the years between the Spanish-American War and World War I. In the 1920s, Orlando experienced extensive housing development during the Florida land boom. Land prices soared. During this period, several neighborhoods in downtown were constructed, endowing it with many bungalows. The boom ended when several hurricanes hit Florida in the late 1920s, along with the Great Depression. During World War II, a number of Army personnel were stationed at the Orlando Army Air Base and the nearby Pine Castle Army Airfield. Some of these servicemen stayed in Orlando to settle and raise families. In 1956, the aerospace and defense company Martin Marietta, now Lockheed Martin, established a plant in the city. Orlando Army Air Base and Pine Castle Army Airfield were transferred to the United States Air Force in 1947 when it became a separate service and were redesignated as Air Force bases. In 1958, Pine Castle Air Force Base was renamed McCoy Air Force Base after Colonel Michael N. W. McCoy, a former commander of the 320th Bombardment Wing at the installation, killed in the crash of a B-47 Stratojet bomber north of Orlando. In the 1960s, the base subsequently became home to the 306th Bombardment Wing of the Strategic Air Command, or SAC, operating B-52 Stratofortress and KC-135 Stratotanker aircraft, in addition to detachment operations by EC-121 and the U-2 aircraft. In 1968, Orlando Air Force Base was transferred to the United States Navy and became Naval Training Center, Orlando. In addition to boot camp facilities, Naval Training Center Orlando was home to one of two Navy nuclear power schools and home of the Naval Air Warfare Center Training Systems Division. When McCoy Air Force Base closed in 1975, its runways and territory to its south and east were imported to the city to become Orlando International Airport, where a small portion to the northwest was transferred to the Navy as McCoy NTC Annex. That closed in 1996 and became housing, though the former McCoy Air Force Base still hosts a Navy exchange, as well as National Guard and Reserve units for several branches of service. NTC Orlando was closed in 1993 by the Base Realignment and Closure Commission and converted into the Baldwin Park neighborhood. The Air Warfare Center had moved to Central Florida Regional Park near UCF in 1988. Perhaps the most critical event for Orlando's economy occurred in 1965, when Walt Disney announced plans to build Walt Disney World. Although Disney had considered the regions of Miami and Tampa for his park, one of the major reasons behind his decision not to locate there was due to hurricanes. Orlando's inland location, although not free from hurricane damage, exposed it to less threat than coastal regions. The vacation resort opened in October of 1971, ushering in an explosive population and economic growth for the Orlando metropolitan area, which now encompasses Orange, Seminole, Osceola, and Lake counties. As a result, tourism became the centerpiece of the area's economy. Orlando now has more theme parks and entertainment attractions than anywhere else in the world. Another major factor in Orlando's growth occurred in 1962, when the new Orlando Jetport, the precursor of the present-day Orlando International Airport, was built from a portion of the McCoy Air Force Base. By 1970, four major airlines, those being Delta, National, Eastern, and Southern, were providing scheduled flights. McCoy Air Force Base officially closed in 1975, and most of it is now part of the airport. The airport still remains the former Air Force Base airport code, which would be MCO. Today, the historic core of Old Orlando resides in downtown Orlando along Church Street, between Orange Avenue and Garland Avenue. Urban development and the central business district of downtown have rapidly shaped the downtown skyline during recent history. The present-day historic district is primarily associated with the neighborhoods around Lake Eola, where century-old oaks line brick streets. These neighborhoods, known as Lake Eola Heights and Thornton Park, contain some of the oldest homes in Orlando. On June 12th of 2016, more than 100 people were shot at Pulse, a gay nightclub in Orlando. 50, including the gunman, were killed and 53 wounded. The gunman, whom the police SWAT team shot to death, was later identified. He was an American security guard of Afghan defense. The incident, widely denounced as an act of terrorism and hate crime, was both the deadliest mass shooting in modern United States history and one of the deadliest mass shootings perpetrated by a single person in recorded world history. After this terrible tragedy, the city held many vigils. One of the most prominent citizen-created vigils was the one outside the front of the new Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts. In November of 2016, Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer announced the city's acquiring of the Pulse nightclub to build a permanent memorial for the 49 victims of the shooting. The city bought it for $2.25 million. Many tourists to the city have began visiting the site of the shooting to pay their respect for the lives lost that night. Dyer has agreed to wait 12 to 18 months before starting construction of the memorial so that people may see the building as it was. Footage next year is going to be a lot better, trust me. This is just a preview of what's to come next year, I guess you could say. Next up, SeaWorld. This is beautiful. This is gorgeous right here. It's on. Even during the day they leave that on. Alright, cool. We got a bit more of SeaWorld than I thought we would. Next up, Universal Orlando and Hard Rock Live. Alright, bit of an update here. Sad news. I was going to have lunch with a friend that I haven't seen in like 4 years, and then she just wrote to me saying that she cannot make it today. Ah, well, it's alright. Nothing ever goes as planned, huh? It's okay though. Sydney, if you're watching, be good, and I'll be back next year for a week, so hopefully we'll be able to see each other a couple times then. So now I'm at Universal, gonna look around here, film some, and go to lunch. I'm hungry. Well, I'm walking backwards here, and apparently I'm going nowhere fast, so let's change that. Alright, so I want food. Feed me. Feed me. Alright, going to, what do you call it? Hard Rock Live. And then we're going to have a little bit of a look around Universal Studios Orlando. Then we're going to hit the road, see what else we can find here in town. And then finish everything up that I had scheduled. And then back to Fort Lauderdale. Whew, today's going to be busy. King, Moe's Southwest, and oh, I didn't know Dude Perfect were here. Panda Express. Please note, I am not endorsed to say that. I just love Dude Perfect. Red Oven Pizza Bakery. There it is. Oh, it's over there. All right. Oh, this place is so cool. Those of you who don't know, this is my first time to Orlando. So, what's the matter? Tweety couldn't hold it in? No, I'm kidding. Tweety's not even here. She's back in Fort Lauderdale. All right, gotta be careful here. I got all this expensive equipment. Oh, we do have to get over there, don't we? Ooh. I wonder who this is. I had said before we were gonna go get lunch, but I got distracted by the gift shop. So now we're gonna go get lunch. Where, you may ask? Where else? Oh, that's a sweet stage. That's literally the stage where people will perform. I want to perform on this with the waterfall here. Oh, that's sick. Margaritaville. So those of you Jimmy Buffett fans out there, he owns this restaurant. Margaritaville. I don't have my glasses on. It's kind of bright, so forgive me if I'm squinting. Okay, fine, I'll put my glasses on. There, happy now? For those of you who don't know, I absolutely love Hard Rock cafes. Bang on. I'm probably gonna be getting a t-shirt from this one. I got t-shirts from every one I go to. Alright, big old thank you to the Hard Rock Cafe here. I did not get a t-shirt like I usually do because, well, I'll be coming back. We're going to do a revisited episode either later this year or next year, but by the end of 2018 for sure. Alright, stay tuned for a bit more. Anybody want to go to Mardi Gras? Okay, everybody. It's a little bit later. I found the shortcut back to the car. This thing. Look, we got a miniature golf thing. There's going to be a lot to do next time we come down here. Any musician's favorite hotel. Look at that cool fountain. Look at that cool fountain. Statue with a whole bunch of guitars. Of course, we got all the VIP cars here, so there's AWTH, AWTH. Oh, we got a minivan. This here is the Orlando Eye, Coca-Cola Orlando Eye. Is that moment when you forget where you parked your car. I'm on the right level, I promise you that. 3. But, wait a minute. L3. Am I on the right level? I was on level... Oh my god, I feel like an idiot, everybody. I'm one more level up. Hatch. Yep, I'm one more up. I'm so dumb. We're getting closer. Aha! Found it. There it is. Nice Alabama license plate on this Taurus. Yes! I'm an idiot. I went to level 2 instead of level 3. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's a little bit later, but you know what time it is. Gotta fill her up. Oh, shit. My card wasn't approved. Alright, well, let me go in and pay. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, let's try it again. Take 2. So, before I start this, I want to give you a little update on what's going on. I'm filling up now, then we're going to go film a couple more things about Orlando itself, not, you know, the resorts and stuff. And then we're going to go to the Kennedy Space Center. Just, you know, film around for a couple minutes and then we're going home. Back to Fort Lauderdale. So this episode will conclude and the Fort Lauderdale episode will resume. If you haven't seen the Fort Lauderdale episode yet, click the upper right hand corner of the screen now. Okay, let's give the car something to drink. Bang! Alright. AWTH station at Orlando. We're trying to cross the tracks. There's another train coming that'll let up. Another train coming, danger, something of the sort. Southbound towards Miami and points south that way. To New York and points north that way. How many of you people would ever think you'd ever get to see this in person, huh? That is so cool. Whoa! All the different spaceships and everything. Isn't that neat? Hello everybody, coming to you live from the Kennedy Space Center. This will conclude Adventures with the Hendy, Orlando, Florida. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for the next episode of Adventures with the Hendy. And stay tuned for another episode here in Orlando, Florida, either sometime later this year or next year. Adventures with the Hendy is a BXV 2009 production, copyright 2017, BXV 2009 Productions Incorporated, all rights reserved. God bless, thank you for watching. Peace! Oh. Adventures with the Hendy is a BXV 2009 production, copyright 2017, BXV 2009 Productions Incorporated, all rights reserved.